Hello everyone, my head is not in there. If you tried to come on live a few minutes ago, for some reason my Wi-Fi decided it was not going to work and my Facebook froze on my phone. So here I am trying again to go live, so I hope someone else. Hi Donnie, nice to see you. No, your comments weren't working yesterday. Now my whole Facebook was not working today, so thankfully it is right this second. Let's see. Let's see if anybody else comes on. Hello, hello. It was so nice seeing you earlier today. I am going to put my iPad here and see if I can actually see comments, but I can kind of see them there. All right, so thank you for sprinkling for me. So I'm going to start now, even though it's just me and Donnie. Donnie can learn how to make a sunflower. So this right here is a large sunflower board, and you can see that it does. Thank you. That's okay. We'll go, and if anybody comes back, they come back. So this is a large flower board. I use a lot of products from Unique in the Creek. I use the small flower board actually the most, but I'm using this one today because I got a sunflower kit from Unique in the Creek, and it came with pre-cut mesh. Whoops. They're in squares, and I got green as well for the leaves. I don't know why this isn't working. Okay. All right, and I got that. I got a flower center. Yes, Paul, it's finally working. Hi, Lori. I got a flower center. I got a little tiny ladybug here. Hi, Cassie. I thought I was going to have to tell everybody it was canceled because it would not work. Hi, Shay's Shed. This is a cable mount to put on the back so that we connect the center. And I just got all this mesh. I made them into the petals already. Lori from Unique in the Creek. Yes, it is the one I mentioned earlier. I've made many sunflowers in the past, but each one that I've made has been a tiny bit different because there are many different ways to make, you know, the same idea, and doing it a different way keeps you from being bored and finding new things to do. So I'm gonna put this aside just to show you how to do the petal. I know this petal as, hi Linda, I know this petal as the pleated pinwheel petal. I don't know, I've heard it called the pinwheel petal. I don't know. So this is the finished edge, and this is the finished edge, and this is cut, and you can see the fray here, but it doesn't really matter because the kind of petal that I'm doing, the fray is not going to show. Usually I use a wood burning tool, and I cut my mesh with that, which really limits the fray because certain petals, this edge that you cut will show, but for this one it won't. So I'm putting it with the finished edges here, and I always turn it to the right, but it might look opposite to you because I have the front facing camera. So then I'm going to, from the diamond, take the top down to the bottom. And I'm not sure what mesh this is because it was sent to me as pre-cut, but I think it's a yellow value mesh from Unique in the Creek. For this project, it was pre-cut, so I didn't see what the label said, and the green is different. So after you fold it like this, you just take this corner and bring it down. You want the point up top. Don't worry, I'm going to cut those strings off. So now the finished edge is actually showing here. So then you flip it over. When you flip it over, You do the same thing on this side. And just overlap it a tiny bit so you can get a really, really clear point right there. Then I'm going to turn it to the side, and I'm going to find about 2 inches here, and I'm going to scrunch it together. And I'm just going to take one of these little rainbow loom bands and put it on. I always pre-make my petals except when I'm showing you, because I want the band in there. So there's how it looks. It has a seam actually on both sides, so you could use either side. So this part down here is really not going to show, so I'm just going to trim the strings just a tiny bit with my scissors. And that's it. And sometimes I will put a clip here at the corner when I'm making it so that I can get a nice clean thing. My sister Cassie is watching. Hi, Cassie. Also, I didn't do all the leaves yet. The leaves are a little bit sparkly, if you can see that. There are 8 of these. So for this design, the leaves will be done differently. I don't usually do leaves, but when I do them on the outside row. This time I'll show you how it's going to be a little bit different. So I'm going to turn it. I'm going to make the petal the same exact way. If you want, you can do this sunflower wreath with one type of petal. I'm going to vary it a little bit because that's what I do. But if you were to watch Lori from Unique in the Creek making it, she's using all the same petal, which means that it's great for newcomers, beginners, people who've never made a sunflower before, and it still has like an absolutely beautiful look to it. So I'm going to do it mostly her way, but I'm going to change a few things. You just have to make sure that you're doing a petal that doesn't have the fray show. So if you are popping on, I would love for you to at least say hello. I know Donnie is there. I saw Paul there. I saw Cassie there commenting. I see Linda there. Has not commented, but welcome. And so there is the leaf. It's the same exact petal that I'm using for the sunflower, just a different mesh, which makes it very simple, especially if you pre-make your pieces like I typically do. You just make them all the same exact way. So this will be my last one I'm showing you. I'm going to clip the point here. Every mesh feels a little bit different when you do it, so sometimes it needs just a little bit more guidance from you than others. This looks like some kind of deco or some kind of, it has like foil stripes in it so that the leaves will sparkle. So make sure, please just at least say hello so I can know that you're there. I see some friends who are on. I was hoping my other sister Renee would come on. If she does, I hope she will. I hope she will comment. So that's the last one. And I will show you what I did with the board. So if you came on late, here's the large flower board, and I actually preloaded the row that I'm using on the outside, which is actually row 2. This is row 1, and I'm not using row 1. And then I also did row 3 because they're very easy to do. Sometimes I don't preload them at all, but to save time. So if you look at the back, you can see every time it's grouped in 2s, I put a zip tie, and same with this row. The reason I didn't do the other 2 is I'm going to vary it a little bit. So what I'm going to do so that we have leaves is I'm going to alternate these green petals with yellow ones, but I want the yellow ones kind of in the forefront. So I'm going to put a green one in every other section and pull it tight. really very, very simple. The mesh is pretty thin. If it's kind of overlapping, that's okay, but you can, I don't know why my comments are popping up again, at least not any new ones. You guys need to comment so I can see if they're there. Oh, there, I see now. So I have Deborah, my friend Deborah. I have, let's see if I tap this. Okay, now I can see it on my iPad for the first time ever. Thank you. Those of you who are content creators, they actually finally gave me stars after like more than 30,000 followers. I don't know why it took me so long. Apparently I wasn't doing something right. So if you're one of those that ever gives or receives stars, I can now receive them on my lives and my reels. I have gotten 10 stars so far. So even though that's 10 cents, I feel very thankful and blessed because it was exciting and it meant that somebody liked what I was doing. If you don't do stars, that's fine. If you hit the heart button and sprinkle a whole bunch of times, that's also helpful too, because that allows me to be seen more, and more people will see this in their feeds. All right, I'm gonna see who else commented. I see Renee, my sister Renee is there. Is Tierney watching too? If you see me looking down, it's because my iPad is there. And I can actually see all your comments down there if I tap it. So I'm almost done with the green. So here we have the 8 green, and these are going to be the leaves. And the only thing that's going to be different about these 8 green and the yellow ones I put between them is I'm going to overlap the yellow ones on top a little bit. Usually the leaves and the petals are not in the same row with the same petals, so that's nice. You have to switch to your personal account to get me. Tierney isn't home from school yet. Okay, the leaves are pretty. Thank you so much. I don't know why it was loading. If you're wondering why, if you came on at the beginning and you're wondering what happened, it just said loading, and it kept popping off, and then my Facebook froze. And I couldn't get my iPad like lined up in a good way so you could see me, and then I finally got it to work. So I was about to put a message up that I couldn't do it. So now I'm gonna take the yellow ones, which are folded the exact same way, and what I've learned as the pleated pinwheel petal, but sometimes you'll notice that people will say different names for the same petal. I don't know if it's because they know who made the petal up or what, but, oh, you're back, Deborah. Deborah is one of my favorite people to watch. I haven't watched her lately. I don't even know if she's been on lately because I've had a lot going on in my life. I had the holidays, I had surgery, I moved while I was recovering, and I'm finally feeling settled. I was sick the last 2 days, but I did a live last Thursday if you didn't catch it. And I know my sister Cassie was there and Donnie was there. All right, thank you, Donnie. Thanks for stopping by. So I'm going to try to do them more. I'll have to tell you that I used to be a music teacher. I had to retire early for personal reasons, but I feel like when I'm going live that I'm a teacher. You've gone on twice in the last month. Deborah, you sent me stars. You're my second stars. I love you so much. For those of you who aren't content creators, we get a penny, I think, for each star that is sent to us. I don't know how Facebook came up with that. But it's one of the ways that pages on Facebook get monetized. They have offered me the bonus before, but for various reasons, I wasn't able to do it, but they never offered me stars until now. So I just like it because I finally have it and everybody else has had it since 500 or 1,000 followers. I don't know why Facebook, Hi, Tierney. Facebook didn't love me enough. I don't know. My nephew, Tierney Howland, is on there. Both my sister, Jet Renee Howland, and my nephew are actually technically administrators on this page, which is why you see Shannon Mick when I post things. So they're also capable of posting things. And my nephew Tierney is a fellow artist and crafter. He's been able to do a lot of different things. And so I hope that we can get some of his great things shared, and that maybe next time I go to Arizona, he and I can do a live together. My sister Jet Renee, which I just call Renee, can actually do things but hates crafting, but appreciates our crafting. And my sister Cassie, which I said, thank you, Tierney. My sister Cassie, who's on there, is very good at crafting, but I think she really only does it when I'm there or if she's making something for her students. So I'm going to her house on Thursday, and I'm gonna overflow her house with craft supplies and make her do things. So that's how it looks right now. I didn't take any of the zip ties out yet, with the leaves poking out behind the sunflower petals. So this is the outside row. And if you have seen me use this before, this is for the zip ties. And it took me a long time to learn how to use it. So I'm excited. It's way easier for taking the zip ties out and cutting them at the end and tightening them. So I feel very fancy when I use it. I still don't know how to use a rotary cutter, but I'll learn. I need one of the crafters that I know from Facebook to help me out. April from Made by Monroe Designs told me what kind to get, so I'm gonna listen to that and get it. So I took all the scraps out now, and I'm gonna load the next part because I'm gonna do it a little differently. The board is set up, excuse me. If you think I'm just like being messy because I wasn't prepared, that's true, but if you know me, I'm always messy. This is gonna be everywhere. It's gonna be all over the floor. It's gonna be tracked into my bathroom and my bedroom. I'm not an organized crafter. I'm a hot mess. It's all over my floor. So I'm only cutting this so you can see the holes on the next row. So right there, you'll see on the next row how it's grouped like this again, but there are only 8 of those. And I want 12 petals. If you watched Lori's version, Lori from Unique in the Creek, she uses all of the big sections because she wants 16 holes, 16 petals. I'm gonna do 12. So I'm just gonna use this one, and then I'm gonna skip one, and then I'm gonna do another one. So it will end up being 12. So she sets the holes in pairs, grouped together, but there are a lot of different ways you can set up your board. Are you laughing at me, Paul? Because you know, Rima, you're on. Thank you so much. I'm so excited to see some of my friends join in. So I don't usually do these ahead of time. Anyway, so I put it in the pair here. I'm gonna skip this one, and then I'm gonna put it here. And so sometimes they're gonna be in the wider set spaces, and sometimes they're gonna be closer. And I'm just doing that because I want 12 petals, not 16 or 8. So sometimes you just have to be creative. I love these boards. I have so many of them. And then Lori sent me this kit, so I had another one. I usually use the small boards, but I'm falling in love with these large boards now because you have the extra row. I think this might be 48-ish petals all together that I'm going to be using. I'm skipping that one. and count them when I'm done. Put that in the comments. I'm going to turn my glue gun on if I can find it. Oh, no, I can't get to it right now. So when she sent me this kit, and many people who do sell kits, it even comes with the zip ties. I'm so glad you can make it. You are not an artist if you are not messy. Okay, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. You know, I get on my kids' case for like shoes and clothes being everywhere, but when it comes to crafts, they can be just like little tiny scraps of mesh and ribbon tracked all throughout my place. And then when I go to vacuum it, the vacuum is just filled with like little tiny scraps. And then I have to find all the zip ties because the vacuum doesn't pick up the zip ties. So almost done putting them in. I didn't want to put them in ahead of time for this row because otherwise you would have no idea what I'm saying. I put this one in backwards. Make sure when you use zip ties that you are connecting to the flat part of the zip tie or they won't actually stick. These are smaller zip ties than I use sometimes, so they're very slippery. If you know me well, you know that my hands do shake. So, all right, so I actually did it right. I actually can count sometimes, and I put them in properly, which is say, I do watch your lives, but you are the cutest ever. I watch your lives like TV, like you just make me smile. And Donnie, who was here earlier, he's just such a sweetheart. Like it doesn't even matter what you guys are making. I just want to watch you. Like I tell my friend Paul who's watching, I got to watch Deborah now. Deborah's on. Oh, I will message you my new address. Thank you, Rima, for telling me that. I'm one of the first people I met on here, Karima. You'll see her in the comments. We haven't commented to each other a lot lately, but we have been talking about doing lunch. So we're going to make that happen. All right. Hello, Sue. Thank you for joining. So now I'm going to stick these in here as quickly as I can go so I can get to the good parts. Because in the middle, I'm going to show you a different way of doing it from what Lori does. So the original one, she does the 16 here. And I'm doing 12 because I want those 4 petals probably for the middle, but also I don't need it to overlap that much. The 16 overlap a lot. And you can watch her video, so why do it exactly the same? So I'm doing mine a little bit differently because that's the great things about wreath making, art, whatever. I love you too. You do things your own way. You see somebody else, maybe they inspire an idea, but then sorry, the mesh is really sticking together, but I like it because I don't know if you can tell on your own phone or computer or whatever you're watching on, it's just so bright. And usually when I do sunflowers, I don't use really bright mesh. I use like more of a buttery yellow. So this is gonna have a different vibe to it. They're sticking together. So. Tierney, I'm so glad you're watching. I miss you. I have to go to Arizona to see my family. I had surgery right around the time everybody else went there. Oh, I made a mess. I made a mistake, I think. I'm gonna go over here and figure it out when I get there. Exactly what I did. Yeah, I see what I did. Apparently I can't count after all. Oh, I see so many people on here. You guys are just warming my heart because it didn't work at first. And I didn't think anybody was going to come then after that. Thank you, Paul. Appreciate that so much. So I'm going to have to cut a couple of these and do them again. So sometimes when I'm making them by myself, I know that I make mistakes. And so I actually put the zip ties in as I go. Like, I don't know why this is doing that. It doesn't love me. I only do that because I make mistakes, but like most people don't do that. They go and they preload them so it's easier. So, I'm almost around here. And then we're gonna get close to the middle. All right, I think this is where I messed up. It is, okay. Yeah, so I feel like if I put 16 on this row, it wouldn't be necessary. They would really be overlapped. So here's where I made a mistake. 1, 2, I skipped 2 rather than 1. So I'm gonna cut that out and I'm gonna actually put it in the trash. If you've been here while I craft, I usually just throw it on the floor. You know, I can only really focus on one part of the crafting at a time, and that is the actual doing it, especially if I'm like hanging out with you. I watch some people that, you know, cut really neatly and throw it gently in the trash while they're live, but if you see me doing that, I'm either trying to turn over a new leaf or I'm trying to look good for you, and it's not gonna last. It's just not gonna last. All right, so now I got it. I do learn from from others and do it my way. And since I've done so many sunflowers in the past, and if you even want to see a different sunflower, I think that it's probably not on Facebook anymore now that they're taking the lives off after 30 days. But I have downloaded my lives and put them on my YouTube. I've been neglecting my YouTube, my TikTok, and my Instagram for the most part. But I am now going to be downloading them all and putting them on my YouTube so that they're not lost forever. So, hello, Darlene. Thank you for joining us. Let me see if they're all overlapped properly. They are. So I'm going to use my handy dandy zip tie thing. Oh, I dropped something on the floor. Okay. Oops. I may have miscounted. It's possible. She only gave me a certain amount. Oh, no, I just dropped them on the floor. That makes me feel a lot better that I didn't count them wrong. I'm going to turn my glue gun on. All right, so I'm back. So now, if you look, we have, this is called row 2 because we skipped the outside row. Row 3, and we're about to do the 2 in the middle. You have so many lives, Deborah. You could fill up so many on your YouTube. Apparently I can go live on TikTok now. I barely even go on TikTok, but since I put my most recent live on there after the fact, now I can do that, but I don't know how. So maybe if somebody here does know how, they can tell me. All right. So I'm going to put it in these 8, and then we're going to figure out something different for the middle. I have my iPad in front of me for the comments, so that's like how you're seeing it, and it's a delay, so it's very weird for me to see. It's kind of creepy to see that. So does anybody have any questions so far that are not about my awesome Stevie Nicks t-shirt that my kids gave me for Christmas? And I have not worn yet. I was actually gonna drink Gatorade while I was doing this, and then I decided I couldn't because I would get it on Stevie and then I would cry. And if you watched on Thursday, I was also wearing the Stevie Nicks t-shirt. I don't know why. Usually I'm wearing Golden Girls, but that's just how it worked out. Oh, you've averaged 2 a week for the last, I know you have. Deborah usually goes on live twice a week. Some people do it every day. Maybe if I did it every day, I wouldn't get so anxious. Deborah's not anxious when she does it. And if she is, she doesn't look it. I do. And I am wearing shorts. And I'm wearing flip-flops, and I think it's 50-ish outside, but it got very warm in my house yesterday, and it was actually 80, so maybe that's why, or 70. It was warmer yesterday. So I'm wearing shorts in my house, and I'm wearing white cutoff shorts, and actually they were Cassie's. She's on here. They're too big and they're comfy, and I'm probably gonna have them on like every single time now because that's like my warm weather uniform. A ridiculous t-shirt and cut off shorts and flip-flops. So I don't follow the winter rules. I don't. And I got these really great flip-flops like from, I don't remember. I think they're from Skechers, but they're like super high, like for people with plantar fasciitis, or did I say that right? Or things like that. And so I feel like I'm just walking on air, but I just wear them everywhere, including my house. So that's right. I'm getting my floor dirty with them, but I do wipe them if it's really bad. And then I have to clean my floor more, but just black flip-flops all day. All year. I've even accidentally worn them out in the snow, but we haven't had snow for a while, so. I even wore them to the basketball game. We went to the basketball game the other day, if there's any basketball fans on here, but you may have seen that I posted that I went to a basketball game with my son Tim, where Duke was playing Alabama. Flip-flops. And everybody asks me, aren't you cold? Yeah, I am cold, but I just don't like to wear the other clothes. I don't wear coats either. Yeah, I'm cold. I am 100% cold. I just don't like them. I know all the people that know me on here, like in real life, understand that. I wear hoodies instead of coats. All right. All the mesh is sticking to each other, so I apologize for that mess. Okay. Hi, another Deborah. My 2 Deborahs are on now. It's fantastic. Thank you for stopping by again. So I'm just cutting this so I can see the next row of holes to show you. This mesh is very thin. It doesn't really need to be. If I use certain types of mesh, it just piles up and piles up. Okay. So here's where I'm going to change it. I'm not going to use this petal on the inside. I'm going to start with this petal, and then I'm going to vary it a little bit.
What's up, gang?
All right, that's Timmy. Did you hear Timmy? Timmy, Tierney, and Cassie and Renee are watching.
That's exciting.
It is exciting. So this is what it looks like so far. So we just need to do this middle row here, which we are going to put 8 zip ties in there using what we call shared holes. We'll do these 4 here, but we'll also do these. So we're going to do 8. And depending on how it fills in, I'm either going to use 8 or 12 petals. Listen, I'm 51. I'm going to be 52 next month, May 31st. And I am colder, except sometimes I'm hot.
I'm going to run. Don't lock me out.
I'm not going to lock you out. Sometimes I am excessively hot, but sometimes I'm cold outside and I just don't care. I just don't like, I feel trapped in real shoes and real coats. So hoodies for life. All right, so I'm gonna actually use this petal. I've used this petal a lot before, but I did it a tiny bit differently because I folded the mesh like I do for this. I just didn't finish it off. So I have all these pieces over here, right here, that I started but didn't quite finish because, I'm just gonna take what I did before, which, if you remember, was this, fold it down, fold it in, turn it over, fold it again. So that's how I did the petal that I've been using. Now I'm just gonna take this and fold it in twice, and fold it in twice. This is kind of like a petal that's called the Charlotte petal, but it has the pleat there instead of an opening, which I actually like better because it is not gonna open. So sometimes we learn these things. So there's the next one right here. I know where I'm showing it. All right, so I have 2 of those. This one needs to go up a little higher to match the other one. I didn't measure it, so that was my bad. Some people always measure. I kind of eyeball it and then have to change things, so they're pretty close to each other. Let's see who else joined. I see some other people. Hi, Barbara. If my toes turn purple, I just go with it. So that really means that I need to have a pedicure year round. So I'm going to do one more from the beginning, and then I'm just going to fold these others in. So this is open, turned as a diagonal, pull the bottom, top to the bottom, fold in on one side, flip it over, fold in from the other side. And then I'm going to take this and roll it in, and take this and roll it in. And then I'm gonna squeeze it right about here and put a rainbow loom band on it. Don't know if I'm gonna need 8 or 12 of these. It depends on how wide they are. Sometimes I have to double up too in the larger sections, but these are coming out a little wider than I'm used to, so they might be good. So here's another one. All right, this one I'm not gonna start from the beginning. I'm just gonna fold it in to get it done. So when I watch Carrie's wreath creation, she calls these the Charlotte petal, but she doesn't do the turning it over part. She just folds both sides down. All right. So this mesh is kind of stiff. I really like the look of it, but it's not as easy for me to handle as some of the ones that I prefer. So I have to do it another time. As you can see behind me, you can see a lot of my mesh. Mesh is my weakness. I buy excessive amounts of mesh. I have a lot of ribbon too, but I really have a lot of mesh, and I don't always buy it with, let's see how big the first one was. Like 4+ inches, 5 inches. All right, so I have 3, I need 8, I think, and maybe 12. We'll find out in a minute. I hope just 8. I'm gonna spread them out enough that maybe just 8 will be good. And this is just gonna give the middle a totally different look than if I kept the same petal. If you wanna see how it looks, hello Darlene, hello Lori, thank you for joining. If you wanna see how the original looks that Lori did, she just did the same petals in the middle. Whoops. This one is all wonky. I know what I'm doing. I promise. I promise that I know what I'm doing. I'm just messing it up. I probably make all these same mistakes when you're not here, because it's just like nobody sees them at late at night when I'm doing them and saying all the bad words. You'll notice I'm wearing a butterfly necklace. I posted this the other day. I ordered it from my friend Teresa at TLC Handmade, and I decided I would wear it today. And whoops. And these earrings are the same butterflies, but in more of a black. So free advertising for you today, Teresa. I know she's not watching, but how long did I cut my mesh? This mesh came pre-cut, but it's cut in squares. So if the mesh were exactly 10 by 10, I mean, you would cut it 10 inches. A lot of mesh is really 10 1/4 or 10 1/2. I even have some mesh that is 12 inches. So you just make sure that you cut it square. You measure the roll of mesh. Whoops. On here, this coral one is almost exactly 10 inches, but so many of them are a little over. Some are even 9 1/2. So really just measure the width of your mesh, and then when you're done doing that, cut it square. I usually cut with a wood burning tool, but these petals don't require it to be that perfect. So when this kit was sent to me, this came with pre-cut mesh. So this is all from Unique in the Creek. I'm actually a Unique in a Creek brand affiliate. So if you go to their website to buy any boards or anything and you put my name in at checkout, that would be fantastic. I also have a link. I love them. I've been using these boards for years, and apparently they have ribbon and kits and other things. So these are my first 2 kits. I got the bunny face one I did on Thursday. I don't know. I know some of you who were on saw the bunny face one. It's super cute. It's still up because it will be up for 90 days. So I'm going to do one more and then see if they fit. And if we need to, we'll do 4 more. But hopefully this will be good enough. I might actually just do these, and if I need, I can do 4 more after you're all done. I don't know. We'll see. I've done that before too. These are thinner, but towards the center of the sunflower, I just wanted a different vibe. Okay. So here we are. I'm going to just do the little ones first so that I don't have a problem putting my zip ties in, because I get confused. Get all this junk out of my way. Oh, Handmade by Amy. If you ever want the coolest crocheted items, go, what all does Unique in the Creek? Go to Handmade by Amy. She makes those little things, those little crochet things. You just squish them and the stuff comes out. Hi, Crafty Creations with Gigi. What all do they sell? They sell all the boards that I use. comes in a triangle. It comes in just a ring. That's what I did for the dragon. It comes in an oval. It comes in a smaller flower board. I think there's a horse head maybe. There's a cross. So these boards are really a great way to make especially flowers, but she has some that are rings too that are good for other things. I made one of my tulip wreaths on her ring board. Thank you. My kids got me this shirt for Christmas because I use my son, Timmy, he's 23, I use his Spotify offline. And he noticed that there was a Stevie Nicks playlist and that a lot of her songs were in his favorites at the end of the year. So he got me this. It was great. So I'm going to put the ones in the small sections first, and then I'm going to go back and see. So excuse my shaky hands. These are very thin zip ties. Oh, Deborah, you know what one other thing is? If you watched the other day when I did the bunny, they sell character boards where the middle is just flat plastic, and then they sell vinyl wreath centers, and you put that in the middle so you don't have to use an actual wreath sign. So that, what was it, bunny face wreath that I did the other day, that's what that was. That was on a character board. I should do a post where I put all my different wreath supplies on it. So see, I'm just cutting this right on my table. It will end up on the floor. Somebody will help me clean it up eventually. Maybe, maybe not. Might be here for a week. But if you can see behind me, my craft nonsense is all organized, so that's the thing. That's because I have a million of those shelves now. Okay. All right, so let's put the first 4 in and see what we think, if we want to cut them smaller. I am going to do it like this and pull it tight. Let me hit this and see. Oh, you will continue to watch replay. Thank you, Barbara, for stopping by. I appreciate it so much. I'm so thankful for all the people that came today. This is a crowd for me lately. I think the only one that I had, you know, close to 20 was when I did that Christmas cat wreath, which was apparently like the most popular thing on earth because that one went viral, that posted. So let's put this one in and find out if we need to make 4 more of these or not. Oh my goodness, there are 15 of you. You love my craft nonsense? Look, it's all true. Like I can't make it perfect because I'm just gonna mess up. The only thing that I'm doing that I'm not doing that I normally do is saying all the words, especially the ones that start with F. No lie, I am a trash mouth. My sisters will tell you. So this is what I'm gonna put. I'm gonna see if I need 1 in between or if I need to squeeze 2 in. So that's what we're gonna figure out right now after I cut these. I might sneeze, not sure. All right, so I'm gonna put 1 through here and I'm gonna see if 1 does it or if we need to squeeze 2 in there. Achoo! All right, let's put this over it and see. I think we're just gonna do 8 because when we put the wreath sign down, it's gonna be good. So I'm not really sure how I'm gonna get the wreath center on with all this nonsense in the middle, but I will find a way. I always do. So sometimes these petals here come out very thin. I think it's the type of mesh and how I did it a little bit differently. So I think they might be okay. But if I see it later and I don't like, and I don't think it's full enough, I'll go back and add some. Like right here, let's see. You see the gaps right there? Let's put this here and see. All right, I lied. I'm gonna put 2 there. I lied. That's what happens. You have an idea, I don't know why, but they call them recipes. You have a recipe for how you're gonna do it, and then you make adjustments. So I am really going to squeeze 2 in here, whoops, together, and it's gonna become a huge mess in the middle, but it's all right. I'm going to squeeze them in there together. So there will end up being 12 in the middle, as you can see. Hi, Karen. I didn't see the last thing you put, Deborah. You did your first live last month for your coffee business. It was fun. Only had 4 people. I didn't have a lot of people last time, but I knew that I probably wouldn't because I haven't done one in so long and I've never done them regularly. I remember my first one, a lot of people that I've met on here did come, but then I didn't become consistent. That one is not pulled tight enough. The fact that I found this tool without digging through a million things is amazing, but this one is not tight enough. All right, so we are going to do 2 in every one of those, and then we're gonna have to quick throw together 4 more petals. This is all garbage. Some of it made it in the can, most of it didn't. Just saying. Let me put this in and see how many pieces I have left, because I think I'm gonna have to make 3 more petals super fast to get this done. Best laid plans, right? Have to be flexible. You remember my first live? That was a Christmas tree. So I have this one here and I need to make 3 more really fast. So I will try not to take too much time on that, but if you came late, you can see how I made them. So these are the finished edges on the top and the bottom. I'm gonna turn it, I turn it to the right, but it might look opposite because I'm using a front facing camera. Then I bring it down corner to corner. Also, if you came late, it doesn't matter that this is fraying because it doesn't show, but usually I use a wood burning tool. Fold it down like this. When you fold it a certain way, which I just did, this is actually the finished edge. And when I flip it over and do it again, it's the finished edge. So when I put it in just like this, you can see that. So now we have it like this. We're gonna turn it into the other petal, roll this in, fold it in, whatever you wanna call it. And I'm gonna scrunch it here. and put a rainbow loom band on. I find these rainbow loom bands all over the place too, broken ones, because sometimes they snap and I have to like roll it around excessively, even though I should only have to do it like 3 times. A little bit extra that way. Like whenever I buy a roll of ribbon, I think I need to buy 2, even though I really don't need to buy 2. I don't know if anybody else is that way. That's why you have so much stuff. All right, so doing it again. I can feel pieces of mesh on my leg and they're so itchy. Ah. If you're wondering why I'm randomly singing, I was a music teacher, and even though I'm not now, I just do that. Just do it. I don't know why. All right. So then just one more after this. This mesh is really hard for me to grip. I'm usually much neater than this. I like it, but just the texture, sometimes the texture just makes it more difficult, and this one is more difficult for me to grip. One more. I don't know what that is. Oh, this is one that was already done and it popped apart. The rainbow loom band decided to break. I don't know why it did that to me. Probably because I did that too many times. You were in the car? Yes, you were in the car. Oh, you know what? Sawdust is worse, but this stuff is really itchy. This especially is very itchy. So it's on my legs, and on my lap, my legs, which is really very itchy. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna cut this a little smaller. All right, so I'm gonna squeeze 2 in here. Whoops. And then the mess is going to be a huge mess in the middle. I know how to talk. And then I will take my scissors and like just chop it up all over the place so that it's not all sticking up, and then that will make an even bigger mess. So let's turn this a little. When you put them in together, sometimes they get overlapped more. All right. There we go. You're almost done. My glue gun has been on this this lasts like 10 minutes, so I can smell the glue. Chance of me burning myself, 98%. Oh, I guess I don't have all of them. I have to make 2 more. I cannot count yet again, my friends. But I will get it done. So I have exactly enough pieces in this kit to do this. Not one spare, which is crazy. So it's a good thing I didn't mess one up. I can't get this in there. All right, so if you look in the middle, there's like a giant pile of mesh building up there. And that's kind of how it always is when I do weird stuff like this. Oops. Okay. So this is one that was done the other way, so I'm just going to switch it really fast. So I'm going to have exactly enough pieces of mesh. I think it might have been 40, not quite sure. but I think I had 48 total, 40 pieces of yellow and 8 pieces of green, and I'm using every single piece. But if you're using your own rolls, that's how you know, 10-inch square, 40 pieces of yellow and 8 pieces of green. All right, last one. Really, really, really the last one. I mean it this time. No, I always burn myself with a glue gun. And I'm at home by myself a lot because one son is at college and the other son is at work usually. And I'm just sitting here screaming. And I have a very high-pitched scream. If you know me, you know that I have a very high-pitched scream. And, oh, I'm doing the wrong pedal. And I don't know my neighbors upstairs or next door, but I know I can hear them, so they're probably wondering what's going on over here. So they don't know me yet, so they just hear me randomly screaming while I'm crafting, and that's always the glue gun, especially this Ryobi one from Home Depot. It's like so hot. Okay, let me fix this. All right. This is really, really, really the last one. Let's hope I can squeeze it in there and show you what I did. Okay. So it just gives it like a little different vibe in the middle, so it's not all exactly the same. And here you can see how high and poofy that is. So this is what I do, and this is how I get this all over myself. I just like randomly start cutting it because the top's not gonna fit on that. So this is high-tech fancy crafting. All right, so the thing that I need the glue for is actually this. And I'm going to use 2 pipe cleaners because we have to do it differently. I have an excessive amount of pipe cleaners, so this should work. All right. So here's 2 pins I taped on the back because I need them. And this is the sunflower center, and it's just foam. It's just foam. Here's a ladybug. It's tangled. And this is a cable tie. Usually the cable ties come with an adhesive on the back, but this one has 2 holes, so I'm gonna be creative. Let's see. I'm actually gonna take 2 of these and twist them together a little bit because I want them longer. And I hope that I can fit it through here. Almost there. Okay, perfect. So I needed this longer because I'm not going to be able to go through the center where the 2 center holes are. And I am going to take this glue gun and put a whole hot mess of glue here in the center. And I'm going to place this in the center. Oh, I can smell it. And then I'm going to take these 2 pins and I'm going to put them through these holes. I've just got a little glue on my pinky. That's about right. Usually when I use cable ties, I actually use a rapid fuse glue, but maybe with these little things on there, it will stay. If you don't have cable ties, you can just use like one of those metal floral pins and push it down and glue gun it and put a piece of ribbon over it. So this is not set yet. We're gonna wait till it gets set. And then the last thing will be the ladybug. And it's really cute. I'm hoping this will set. It's a lot of glue. It's a lot of very, very, very hot glue. I lost the little baby ladybug, didn't I? Oh no, here it is. Here's the ladybug. It comes on a wire. This wire is going to be too long. Deborah has a whole bunch. She has the Be Humble one that I posted last night, reposted. She has a poinsettia. She has angel wings. She has, I forget what else. That was a lot though that I remembered, but I forget what else. Yeah, these pins are not doing their job. So I might get a piece of scrap ribbon and put it over. I'm going to put a little scrap ribbon over that to hold it on, because for some reason this cable tie, since it didn't have the adhesive on it, my master plan didn't work, so I'm just going to put a ribbon scrap over it to kind of hold it in place. Yes, I do use excessive amounts of glue. I don't know why. You don't need to. You really don't. I have a glue gun problem. I use excessive amounts and I burn myself all the time. You do not have to do that. I suggest not. Ooh, I burned myself. I'm not gonna scream though. Oh, I'm not gonna scream. Not this time. Okay. Oh yes, I made you that custom cornucopia. That's only one of two things. If you saw, I just recently made another angel wing for my friend Cindy at Thoughts at 2 a.m. That's been like another really popular one. It's super time consuming to make, but it's a great, like a memorial wreath. Most of the people got them in memory of someone they love. So I'm gonna try to put this on now, and it's gonna be exciting. So these two pipe cleaner ends here, I'm gonna put through holes here in the middle. Normally, if you didn't have so much mesh there are two holes in the very, very center that are used for putting the wreath centers in. But my middle is kind of messy, so I'm going to use, right here. I'm going to put one through here, and I'm going to put one through here. And then I'm going to reach through. Come on. Oh, little pipe cleaner. There you go. I got one through. The other one does not like me. clearly not going through properly. There it is. So, since there's a lot of glue in there and it's not set, so this is what it's gonna look like. A sunflower, and you see the leaves around the outside. I'm just gonna loosely put this flower center on for now because I might have to tweak that cable tie. So there's that, and she put the little ladybug on the center. Do you want me to put it on the center or on the yellow? Let me know in the comments. Do you want me to put it, this little tiny ladybug? If you want me to put it here or, you know, somewhere on the mesh, let me know. No, I have one glue gun, Deborah, one hot glue burn. I even have a reel of it. It was so bad. Who has an idea for whether we should put this on the flower center or if we should put it on the yellow part? So I think she put it like just in like this, but it could also go somewhere here. Bee would look cute too. I don't have a bee though. On the mesh. Okay, so I am going to, I think I'm actually gonna put it out more. I'm gonna keep this little wire on it and stick it through the mesh, I think. Excuse me, hot glue. So one day, like months ago, I got this fancy glue gun, this wireless fancy glue gun, and it really works well, and it really burns me well too. So, all right, I'm going to kind of try to stick it through this mesh here, and then press it down. There we go. And push it down a little bit here and let it set. I wish I had more, or I had to be, or something. I think most of you said yellow that I saw. Yeah, you know what, I can hang it from anywhere, so I will hang it so that it's off center. Okay. Okay, I'm just gonna clip this down here so it sticks a little bit. All right, that'll hold for now. So there's the little ladybug up close. So that is the finished sunflower right there. And if you look at the back, I didn't tighten this yet, but the back is actually very neat. You can see all those zip ties, they're clear. I even had some gray ones that came with the kit. So all I have to do when I'm ready is tighten this and clip this off, and I can put the pieces inside the hole. So it's very neat on the back. So that's the whole thing, the finished sunflower wreath with this pleated pinwheel petal. And then this is kind of like a modified Charlotte petal in the middle that I used. And I like that I used it because it gives it just a slight variation, but you can do the entire thing with the very same petal if you prefer, and then you would only do 8 in the middle. Yeah, no, it is. So I have to just decide where I want the top to be. And then on the back, I just use a hole or holes and use a pipe cleaner or a ribbon or something and create a hanger. And then I will make that so that the ladybug is off the center. And another good thing I've seen people put on them is butterflies and bees too. So there it is, and I will post it as soon as the glue finishes drying and I find a place to hang it because it's bad lighting today. Thank you so much for stopping by. It was wonderful to see all of you. Made me very happy. Goodbye.